Today, we're going to talk about awareness. Awareness of the self, others, and our world. What is awareness? Awareness is often defined as something similar to perception, or a way of understanding something through the senses. Awareness may also be thought of as similar to presence, consciousness, being, mindfulness, or the now. The opposite of awareness is what might be called confusion, illusion, or even fogginess. To better understand what awareness is, let's look at some examples. We might be aware, for example, that we're anxious, yet we might have no awareness of what makes us anxious. Or we might be aware that we find it extremely difficult to be around a particular person, but we might not be aware of the thoughts that make this so. As you can see from these examples, there are levels of awareness. We all already have some awareness. Our goal is just to become increasingly more aware. And as we do, we'll gain more and more benefits from our awareness. Lucky for us, awareness is a skill that can be developed. So let's explore some practices and strategies for increasing the strength and breadth of our awareness. Let's start with awareness training. Although meditation is a useful tool, meditation is often challenging or difficult, particularly if we're not used to it. That's why easing ourselves into small, intentional moments of awareness throughout the day can be a simple and effective practice for beginners. One way to get started with this practice is by periodically pulling your attention away from whatever you're doing, whether that's working, walking, talking, and just take a moment to simply be. Perhaps there's a picture on your wall or a pen on your desk. Take just 1 minute to see if you can notice new things about it, things you hadn't noticed before. Or if you're out and about, take just 1 minute to notice the shapes and colors on a street sign, a noise in the background, or the feeling of the sun on your shoulders. Building on this practice, we can increase the depth of our awareness by bringing in all of our senses, seeing, hearing, feeling, smelling, and tasting. Throughout the day, pause to let each of your senses notice things. Look at all the details of a tree outside your window. Listen for the sounds of the wind, kids playing, or cars driving. See if you can feel the sensation of your shirt on your back or your lips pressing together. Try to identify the different scents that come from your meals, and try to taste each flavor for a few bites. Minimal effort is needed. All that is required is a minute or so of making full use of your senses several times throughout the day. In addition to noticing things outside our bodies, we can also benefit from becoming more aware of the sensations inside our bodies. Have you ever asked yourself, for example, what does it feel like to be in your body? Or what does emotional pain feel like? Or what does hunger feel like? Bringing awareness to the sensations in our bodies can help us add depth to our awareness practice. You may have noticed that building the skill of awareness requires alert attention. Indeed, this is a key feature of awareness. Yet only brief moments of practice are needed to build this skill. Any present moment of practice will do. For example, you might ask yourself, what is the quietest sound I can hear right now? Or, can I detect some faint smell in this environment? Hone your skill of alert attention by attending to the most subtle things you can identify. One helpful way to build this skill is by practicing paying attention to sounds that build, crescendo, and then fade. Trains are a wonderful resource for this. Listen as a train approaches and notice the sounds as it moves away. See how far you can follow the sound of the train into the distance. How long in time can you still hear its sounds before it eventually fades into silence? If there are no trains near you, the same practice can be done with a jogger running past you, a bike riding by, or a car driving down the road. You could also use a bell or chimes. Close your eyes and follow the sound until you can hear nothing. Then pause there and listen to the silence. Following a sound can help you find silence both around you and inside you. So, what exactly are we doing when we engage our awareness? We are activating our state of being. Our world is a world filled with doing, going to work, running errands, taking care of friends and family, sleeping, and repeat. We rarely know anything other than doing. We strive to accomplish, complete, acquire, get results, or finish nearly every experience we have. Doing is what we know. If we think about it, doing is everywhere. If you feel thirsty, you might fill a cup of water, bring the cup to your mouth, drink, then lower the cup back down to the table. If you're in a state of doing, each of these acts is executed with accomplishment, completion, or results in mind. In a sense, then, the action itself is resisted, avoided, or dismissed, because the action's entire purpose is to be done and over with. Its entire existence relies on a thought about the future result. This is what is meant by doing. Doing type actions are tied to some future outcome, so that even though they are executed in what seems like the present moment, they lack awareness. Let me explain a bit further. Actions can be completed in a state of doing, and most are for most of us. But actions can also be experienced in a state of being. It is a qualitatively different experience when we have an intention to complete an action versus an intention to experience an action. In a state of being, you might experience increasing heaviness as you fill up a cup of water and lift it to your mouth. You might feel the water slide against your tongue and cheeks. Then feel the movement as you release the cup back down to the table. If you're in a state of being, each of these acts contains awareness and is experienced in presence. When your whole life becomes these moments of presence, you have found peace in an otherwise chaotic world. Experiences like these help you begin to realize that you are not your mind and that your existence does not rely on your mind. So how do we make it easier to practice awareness in our busy, crazy world? The simplest answer is nature. Modern life can sometimes make it difficult to deepen and extend your awareness practice. Technology buzzing or blaring, construction banging or beeping, and people yelling or screeching can all keep our awareness at surface level. Nature, if you have access to it, can be a great resource in lessening the noise, both internal and external. A park bench, even in the middle of a bustling city, can be a wonderful spot to immerse yourself in nature. See if you can notice new sounds, birds chirping, bees buzzing, leaves blowing in the wind. There is a subtleness to nature that, when given attention, can help you deepen your awareness. Nature provides just the right atmosphere for being, and with practice, you can begin to experience more moments in a state of being, rather than in a state of doing. As you become more comfortable taking moments to develop awareness, you may find that your experience of awareness changes. Perhaps it extends itself so that during each practice you notice more and more new things, either about your external surroundings or about the internal workings of your mind or body. Perhaps you start to enjoy the feeling of aliveness that arises in your body and begin to feel drawn towards spending more time in relative silence, noticing these sensations. Perhaps you even begin to feel more peaceful. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes, and the more positive results you can experience. If you feel inclined to spend longer chunks of time cultivating awareness, you may be ready to try meditation. Meditation is a broad term that includes a variety of diverse practices. However, meditation is generally thought to be a practice that focuses on training attention and awareness. Each of the moments of awareness that we've talked about so far can be thought of as mini meditations. During longer meditations, you can do exactly what you did in the shorter awareness practices. You may choose to focus on an object, use your senses, sense the aliveness in your body, or other techniques. Thoughts will come in, perhaps a great many thoughts. Just do your best to keep your attention on the present, perhaps even telling your thoughts that you're going to give them a break for now, for the next 30 minutes or so. They'll be persistent, but that's just how thoughts are. You'll still build your awareness skills during the gaps between these thoughts. As you build awareness, trust yourself and your own knowing by taking each step only when you're ready to take each step. As you become more comfortable, you might choose to increase the amount of time you spend in a state of being. It shouldn't feel effortful. If it feels like pushing or demanding yourself to do it, then the awareness practice itself may have become a doing act. In this case, extend your awareness practice with small steps to be taken as you feel comfortable. Just imagine yourself as a flower bud, knowing that you will bloom, but that you cannot force yourself to bloom before you're ready. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and check out our free resources at berkeleywellbeing.com.